Reason, if it is detached from the prophetic revelation, if it is isolated from divine guidance, then it is not reason at all. It is in fact, in the terminology of the Holy Quran, it is hawa, ahwa. وَلَوِ اتَّبَعَ الْحَقُّ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ لَفَسَدَتِ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ. So why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when sent us to this universe, we needed knowledge for living on this planet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided us with some sources of knowledge. Eyes to see, ears to hear, nose to smell, tongue to taste, and the hands and feet to touch and to feel. By these sources we acquired knowledge. But these sources are not enough to give us every kind of knowledge. There comes a place where these sources do not work. At that point of time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us another source of knowledge, that is reason. By reason, we can know what we could not know through our own senses. But as the senses, as the function of senses was not limitless, it has its own limits. Likewise, reason has its own limits. And there are places where reason does not work properly. At that point of time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a third source of knowledge, that is revelation, that is given to us by the prophets. So revelation comes where reason stops. So therefore, if a particular precept or particular description or particular order or prohibition seems to be against reason, and that cannot be repudiated, there cannot be denied, only because my reason does not accept it. Because revelation comes where reason does not work. For example, if you see all the philosophers, right from Aristotle up to Bertrand Russell or any further philosophers, all of them claim to use their own reason. Socialists claim to use their reason for determining what is wrong, what is right, what is wrong. Capitalists, every philosophy, every system of life claims that it acts on reason. But there are differences, they are conflicting with each other because they are devoid of the divine guidance. There was in our history, there was a sect that was called Karamat or Batiniya. One of their leaders has written a detailed letter to his followers in which he says that it is stupidity that someone gives his sister to another one in marriage, while his sister was very beautiful and very cooperative with him, but he gives his sister to another person and brings a totally stranger, alien woman from outside that is not so beautiful nor so cooperative with him, and he spends his own wealth to the others and brings someone that is not helpful to him. Has it been a wise person, he could have retained his own sister in his home, at his home. This is what his reason, leading to his reason. But because this reason is devoid of divine guidance at all. You know, even today, if you open Encyclopedia Britannica, and the article on atomic bomb, you know, the first sentence that you will find in introduction of atomic bomb is that this is the bomb through which the life of 1 billion people was saved in Nagasaki and in Hiroshima. The lives of 1 million people not destroyed. Life of 1 million people was saved through this atomic bomb. The argument is that had it not been dropped, then the American soldiers in the number of 1 million would have been killed in this war. But since this was dropped, the lives of 1 million people has been saved. So they do not describe the destructive effects of atomic bomb. They are arguing in favor of atomic bomb because it has saved the lives of 1 million people. So this is the rational arguments. You know. So if you detach reason from divine guidance, it gives you such answers. So therefore, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says is the wisdom, even though your reason is not, accepting it, for example. But if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has decided that this is the reason, you must accept it, because it is the wisdom that has been determined by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. يُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. He will teach you what is wisdom. When we say, for example, that interest is haram, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has declared war against those who are involved in interest. The people say, why? Why interest is haram? Doesn't seem any wrong with it. It is a transaction. It is a transaction like a sale is transaction. There is no difference between the two. So we will not accept it unless our reason accept the basic cause for which it has been prohibited. But the same argument was advanced by the people of Jahiliyyah. Innamal bay'u mislu riba. They said sale is like riba. There is no difference between the two. Both should be permissible. Both should be allowed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have explained the reason of the prohibition of riba, but he avoided it. He said, no, ahallallahu al-bay'a wa harrama riba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed sale, but he has prohibited riba. You must accept it, even though your reason does not catch the basic cause of prohibition. You must accept it wholeheartedly. So this is the meaning of Islam, to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to submit to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's guidance in totally. So this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent for, to explain what is the wisdom. So those who, search for wisdom behind any precept, every precept of the Sharia, should know that sometimes there are many occasions in which we cannot properly understand the wisdom of a particular rule. There is wisdom behind every rule of Sharia, but it is not necessary that we understand it properly. So therefore, one should not say that unless I appreciate the basic wisdom behind an order of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I would not accept it. This is not a behavior of a true Muslim. He must submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, submit to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The fourth objective that has been mentioned by this holy verse is yuzakkihim.